Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Nomadic Restart. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the We.Nomadic podcast, Nomadic Stories. We're happy to be back with episode 3. I'm going to apologize in advance because all three of us got maybe a cold or the flu or something, and so there will be a lot of this during the episode. So I hope it doesn't it doesn't disturb you too much. As always, I got my brothers with me, Lewis in Scotland, I believe, and my brother Jimmy here with me in Rotterdam. We're back in the Netherlands, and happy to be back. Now we will no longer have big connection issues or planes flying overhead while we're recording the podcast. So that's a good thing. And yeah. Anyways, welcome back, everybody. So yeah, I kind of wanted to start off with chatting a bit about what it's been like for me and Jimmy, like just coming back to the Netherlands after 5 weeks, leaving in the peak of summer and coming back in the fall, and how terrible the climate feels over here.
Yep. It's not ideal, man. Soon as as you can hear, I'm suffering to even start talking. But no, it's been a lot of dry throat like upon arrival, sniffling starting, skin super dry. Lips need to be chapped up pretty much every hour. Would you say? Yeah, probably around every hour. But other than that, other than the fact that it's like it's like for my skin and physically and stuff, it's pretty bad, and like we're obviously getting sick right away. But I remember right when we arrived, both me and Marty were kind of like happy and relieved of like the fresh cold air and the rain, because like obviously in 5 weeks of just being in like scorching heat, and yes it rained, but like it doesn't really cool down. So we were really like in around 30 to 40 degrees, like really, really dry heat for a while. And then to come back to like rain and fresh air and like a bit colder air also felt quite nice. And I remember I was excited for like, even when I got home to my roommate, I was like, I'm actually pretty happy about the rain and stuff. But then, 4, 5, 6 days in, my body is starting to feel it. So, mixed feelings. Yeah.
Shit, dude.
How's it over there, Lewis? How's the weather?
It's all right. I mean, I feel like now it's starting to get a bit colder, low key. Like, also out of nowhere, like we've had some pretty nice days where it's just like sunny and relatively warm during the day, but then at night, like all of a sudden, the temperature just drops, man, and you're not prepared for it. Like, I had to bring back my winter jacket. I'd never thought I'd be doing that this soon, but it's getting to that point.
It's time for the wardrobe switch.
Yeah. You guys,
I'm like packing up all my summer stuff, putting it in the basement, taking out all my winter clothes, and like ready to go.
You guys summer people or like winter people? What would you say?
Summer
Yeah,
people,
for sure.
man.
I'm a summer type person.
Everything feels better in the summer and the warm temperature. Like, I don't know how other black people experience this, but I know we need to put on lotion on a daily basis pretty much. But like when I was in Burkina Faso, I went 5 weeks. I pretty much went 5 weeks without having to apply lotion and not become ashy. My skin didn't dry out. Like, my skin would literally naturally just become oily in the hot temperature, as opposed to like here where it's like the desert, man. I feel like I'm mummifying when I get out the shower, bro.
Yeah, that's when it hits the most, right when you get out the shower. It's just like super dry. Yeah.
So
man.
Speaking of which, actually, if anybody in the audience, we definitely need to post this on Instagram and clip it. But if anybody in the audience has like some elite skincare tips for us, please hook us up, because I feel like I've never been starting to become this ashy out here, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about ashy and skincare, I mean, some tips for facial skincare would be very welcome too, man. Because I've been going through it.
I hope we can't see it on here, dude. It's not looking good.
No, my skin looks like it's glowing on this, but you get a closer examination, it's not looking ideal. But how's my forehead though compared to a week ago? Hein? Yo, faut bien regarder. Ça s'est amélioré.
No.
Okay, you're so dumb, bro.
Shut the fuck up, man. I'm so dumb. Nigga, I look at your forehead every day. Dude.
Nigga, that's why you can't tell also that it's changing, man.
What is changing
You
about
had
your
3
dome, dude?
I had 3 big ass volcanoes out there, bro.
Alright, yo,
Gone now.
alright, we start the episode.
I'm trying to act like shit look the same. I've been probably had the most of like probably the biggest or longest type breakout I've had in my pretty much my whole life.
For
So
real?
feeling a little more insecure about my forehead these days. That's why I asked Marty as soon as I sat down, how's it looking, man? And he said it's looking the same, but I felt like it was getting better, but that's
It's not.
You know what?
whoa, dude. Anyways,
You know what?
we don't need to get into
Okay,
that.
we
But
won't get into it then.
tips are welcome. Tips are
Yeah,
welcome.
for sure. You gotta take care of your skin, man. You only got one
Yeah.
skin. Well, actually,
But hey, we gotta quote that, man. You only got one skin, bro. You got one skin. You gotta live. But the one thing in the winter, you're asking if we're summer or winter people. I'm definitely a summer person. But one thing I sometimes can appreciate in the winter, aside from like the Christmas vibes that I kind of actually do
That's
like,
nice.
that's
I
quite
agree.
nice. And like going for walks when it's like kind of snowy is like really, really nice and wholesome. But also like when it's really, really hot and you're trying to sleep, like we spoke about this, man. It's not also nice, man. Having those winter nights where you're warm and like 3 blankets in your
Cozy.
bed, cozy, like waking up, like going to bed in the dark,
Yeah.
waking up in the dark is also damn comfortable, man.
yeah.
It's almost like there's no such thing as cozy when it's 25 degrees plus.
Yeah, yeah.
That is actually true. I never thought about that. Yeah. Whenever going to sleep, like I have the best sleeps when like even in dark when the AC is blasting, bro. Like and it's completely freezing in your room to the point where you're just wearing your blanket. Almost for your safety, bro. Because if you don't, you know you're gonna get sick, dude. That's when you feel nice and comfortable.
It's actually like this physiological thing, right? So there's like scientifically there's like a specific temperature at which you'll have like ideal sleep temperature. And it's you'll fall asleep much easier if your body temperature is like not your body temperature but at a cool room temperature than at a hot temperature, right? So if you're feeling really warm, even if it's like colder, but if you're feeling really warm, it's much harder to fall asleep than if you're like in a cooling environment. So I was experimenting with that actually when I was back in Burkina Faso. Like I was trying to get good sleep. My sleep patterns are absolutely terrible. I'll usually wake up on average like 2 to 3 times a night. But I was trying to figure out like my ideal sleeping temperature. I haven't found it yet. So I was always messing like with the AC. And like Googling, okay, what's the perfect temperature to fall asleep at? And it was something like 20 degrees or 21 degrees Celsius. Needless to say, it still didn't work for me. I still be waking up all the time. But if you're someone that struggles with sleep, it's something that you can experiment with, like the temperature of your room and stuff. Whoa, wow, this sniffling is really getting next level today, man.
That's all right, man.
Last episode, which is releasing today, I believe, right, Lewis? We spoke a lot about home and what home means and stuff. And I already clocked it again, man. Like, as we're coming back here, it was like, we're going home. I was like, man, really? Why am I confusing myself even more, man?
Yeah.
I swear I was just home and now I'm going home again. But yeah, it's just something that I guess we keep on reflecting on as people that move around a lot. And so it got me to this question, and like I guess it goes for all 3 of us, but maybe Lewis, you can start. Like what's the we talk about things not necessarily being like materialistic in terms of what home is or isn't, but if you have to choose one material thing, what's the most important material thing for you to have that makes something home for you?
That's a good question, actually.
Great question. Great question. Good work.
Gang, gang.
We're excluding like people, like family, right? And like pets and stuff, whatever.
Purely material.
I'm just automatically thinking about stuff in my house in Dar that's like been there since like I've grown up. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily like something that you can like acquire in different places and it reminds you of home. So like if you move away somewhere and you leave something behind, like a drawer, and then you go somewhere else and buy a new drawer, it's not gonna remind you of the same thing. You know what I mean? Because it's like
yeah.
to, I don't know, your experience in that home.
Mm-hmm.
And even, yeah, something as simple as like a drawer. Like we have a Zanzibar chest in my house, and it's just like it's almost like a treasure chest. You open up, it's like completely wooden,
Yeah.
but that's just like filled with a bunch of random stuff, literally anything, but it's kind of like filled with memories a little bit. Um, so I'd say maybe that it's a bit random actually, but maybe that
Hmm.
chest in my parents' home, but also like pictures, I guess, picture frames. That's a pretty obvious one. What else?
And if you had to choose,
Sir,
if you had to
you have
choose
to choose
one,
one
Oh
I don't.
item.
shit. One item.
Nah, but we put him on the spot. It's not
Nah, nah,
easy.
nah, nah.
I'm
I'll
also.
get you one
I
item.
already came up with mine, dude.
He's brainstorming.
One item. I would have to go with. I'll go with the chest. I'll go with the chest. There's another chest actually that we
The
have that
chest?
has like all my baby pictures
Yeah.
in, and all the pictures like of our family and
Hmm.
stuff. So I'll take that with me.
So the chest, even without those things inside, yeah.
I can't even take the pictures, bro.
No, man.
Yo.
You have to choose an item, bro. No, I'm just playing. I
Nah,
guess that's fair
That's
enough,
fair.
man.
That's
That's
fair.
fair.
Please
That's
allow it.
fair.
Please allow it.
You let it go.
Okay, but what about something that's in your man? What about something that's in your house right now, like in where you living in Scotland, bro?
Um,
Because that's your home too, bro.
yeah, I feel like that's a bit more tough because they are like more materialistic things that I don't necessarily like. Most things I don't really identify as like, yo, this reminds me of my home. Maybe it reminds me of my home here, but that doesn't necessarily give me the same like homely feeling. You know what I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mean? If that makes sense. But just for the sake of
All
the
right.
question, I'll say like uh my guitar. My guitar's been with me for a
Okay,
while here.
that's a good
So
Ah,
one.
yes. That's a great
All right.
answer.
So okay, let's move to Jimmy. But I think one way that the way I looked at it, when I just like I just came up with these
hmm
questions right now, before we started. But the way I thought about it was like, what's one item that I look forward to uh seeing or having when I go back after not having been at home for a long
mm,
time.
So when you go back home from home, which home are you
Yeah,
talking about?
this one, the one where I stay by myself, the one where I spend most of my
All right,
time.
all right, all right. So, like, in case, like, when you came back from Burkina, for
Yes,
example, come back to where you're
for
living.
me, it's such an easy
Can I guess
one.
yours?
Guess.
PlayStation?
Nope. Hell no.
Come on, man.
It's
That's
not the
not 2K.
PlayStation, bro.
your bed?
It's my bed, man.
Yeah, it's your
It's
bed.
my bed. Like, not even close, bro. Not even close. Like the days leading up to being back home, I was like, bro, I can't wait to sleep in my own bed,
Mm,
man. Like,
fair enough.
I love my bed so much, bro.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's like I got used to it, and it's like the ideal bed for me, bro. Like for me, my mattress is so comfortable, and anytime I go somewhere, it's less comfortable, bro.
That's a good one, maybe.
I've I barely go anywhere that if I stay more than 2 nights, it's more comfortable than my bed for me, bro. So I was like, I can't wait. I can't wait.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah. I would say for me, I mean, my bed is definitely okay. We got to choose one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm between my bed because I was also one thing. If we're talking about what is one thing that really is um, like essential to my home that like I look forward to, it's definitely my bed and being able to sleep in my own sheets and everything again. But one thing I also really look forward to every time is using my like sound system again, my studio monitors. I don't
Okay.
know. I use them like every single day, like even on normal days when I'm just like sleeping at home or
Yeah.
whatever, like sometimes at night I'll be like, ooh, what am I gonna listen to first thing when I wake up? Like I'm just
Okay. Okay.
just because the
Okay.
sound hits so right. Like Lewis, we have the same ones. I know you know the
Yeah,
feeling as
for
well.
sure.
But that's one thing I was really looking forward to is like my bed and then my studio monitors and just being able to like sit in my desk, have one monitor on each side, and just like take in the sound. Man, that would probably be my answer.
Bed, speakers,
Yeah.
guitar. So you guys are definitely very musically inclined, bro. I just want to have a good night's sleep.
Yeah, but to be
Yeah,
fair,
inshallah
Ben
you
is a
get
really
one,
good
bro.
one. Yeah.
To this day, my favorite Drake line is "I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry." It's
You
my
get that
favorite
tatted,
Drake
dude.
line of all time, bro. Taking it back to Burkina Faso, I think there's like so many things to talk about and unpack, whatever. But um, when we were there, Lewis, we went to the market. I caught myself a pair of these. For all you guys want to see, yes,
Oh,
sir.
hey, yes, Mr. Easy, Mr. J.
Yeah, wow.
Nice.
I'm gonna need
As you can guess, they're knockoffs.
Yo,
They do
they look
not
pretty
cost
legit to me, man.
$250.
don't tell them they're knockoffs, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I don't care,
Nah,
man.
we're about transparency
I
on this
don't care. I'm
podcast.
keeping it real, bro. I don't have money for the real ones. I'll keep it 100. But um it was so interesting being in the market. Like obviously we haven't been back to Burkina Faso in 3 years. We went to the biggest market in the city there. Specifically, I was looking for these shoes because I'd seen the advert and I was like, you know what, I need to go there. I called the guy. He said where to meet him and
No,
stuff.
no, no. You need to explain how you got the number and why.
Okay,
how
okay,
that
okay,
happened,
okay. So
man.
we went out. We went out for like a whole day, maybe. We went out for a day at like this whole nice pool area that's like by this lake outside of like right outside of the capital Ouagadougou. And as we're like, basically, I've already had in mind like I wanted these shoes, like I really liked them, you know, and no, I hadn't seen them at this point. So I'm driving the scooter back with my brother-in-law, and I'm just cruising, and at some point we get to this really busy area. It's like super congested, and I just see a guy sitting on the side of the road on his scooter, like wearing these. You know, I was like, hold up! I stopped so quick, bro, and I said, bro, where did you get those shoes from, man? And then he gave me. So that's how I got it into my head, like I'm going to find them on this holiday, bro. And that's when he was like, yeah, I got it from my what's the word uh,
What's the word?
he was like, yeah, I got it from my supplier, bro. And I was like, okay, cool, man, give me the number, whatever. I was like, supplier, dude, okay, big man. I was like, all right, I got the number. And then I went home, whatever, I kind of forgot about it. And then my brother-in-law texted me with a different number because he seen the advert on Facebook, so it wasn't actually this guy's guy. But yeah, we just called him. Me and Jimmy hopped on the scooter, went to the market, and dude, the market experience there is so different. Anyways, we went to the spot. We tried on a bunch, found the shoes and everything, but bro, it's so hectic out there, man. There was just like a corridor of maybe like 20, 30 meters long, and each side is just like piles of shoes
Sheesh.
to the top of my head, bro.
You
And you have to try and
yeah, you can find like anything you want at this market
Anything,
and
bro.
any type of shoes. I remember seeing every single color of like Louis V slides, Apple slides,
Apple slides, bro.
are crazy.
anything you want, neon colors, whatever. Yeah, it was like it was
Yo.
unreal, and it's like it's not like it was new to us necessarily, but it was like okay, it's been a while since we've been to like a proper market like this, and honestly, bro, like you can find I think anything you want probably at that market, but just super low quality. So like you can you can like because at one point like as you can see me and Marty came back with chains, right? I've been wanting a silver chain for a while, and at some point we're walking and we see like this was like on the way out. We got the shoes, we were ready to go,
God, bro.
and then this is when I tell you that you can like find anything and anyone will help you find whatever it is. They'll take you wherever. Is we're standing there and on our way out we stop at like a little jewelry store. We just wanted to have a quick peek and see like, yo, do you guys have silver chains? So we asked them.
This place was not it, bro.
You know, we asked like, do you guys have silver chains? And they're like, no, that we don't. We start talking to this lady. She started telling us, oh, maybe you can go this way. Then out of nowhere, like from behind us, just comes some random guy, and he's just like, yo,
I got some.
He's like, I got what you need. We were like, what? You weren't even.
Who's even talking to you, man?
He wasn't in the shop, bro. We weren't talking to him. I didn't even see him until he just said, yo, come with me. I can take you guys to the chain. And we said, okay. We walk with him like 200-300 meters. I don't know. Takes us to like a little corridor. and we wait there. And he's like, he shows us what he has, and we're like, nah, this is not it. This is like, we want something like this. And he's like, nah, I got you. I got you. He went away. He was like, just wait here. I promise you I'm coming. He leaves. He comes back after like 5-10 minutes, and we're like, that's not it, man. We showed you what we wanted. That's not it. And he's like, okay. Wait. Then he sent someone else to go.
Gosh.
Took a bit longer. And finally he comes back, and it was also
Like, not even close to what we asked for, bro.
Damn.
You're like, you know, you get to these places and you do realize, like, people are really, like, desperate to sell you something. And people are, like, quite desperate to sell you something. Like, the way you can negotiate is actually ridiculous. Like, most of the things, especially when you look like us walking into the market, most of the things are marked up at least by 100%, like double the price of what it will actually cost. And they'll always lie to you and be like, bro, if I sell it, the price I'm selling to you, I'm losing money, man.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not. Or else you really wouldn't sell it to me, bro.
Yeah.
You know? Basically, yeah, the place we went to get the shoes from, it was so funny, man. The most outrageous shoes you could possibly imagine. Like, well, I just did the Trump thing. But the most outrageous shoes you could possibly imagine. We'll definitely have to, like, post some clips of it or something. Like,
Outrageous,
when
such
we
as
release
these ones right here.
outrageous such as these ones. Like, instead of $250, I won't lie, these are pretty good quality, man. There's a few, like, little mistakes on them, but they cost, I think, like $8, €8 or something.
It's all right, man.
So instead of $250, I'm okay with that, man. Like,
deal,
I just
man.
like wearing them around the house anyways.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lewis, do you remember that time? So me and Lewis, obviously, like we were homies already in Tanzania, and we were me, Lewis, and Matthew. When it was our prom, we also had to go deep into the market with Lewis's dad
To get what?
to get suits for prom. You know?
Yo, what?
Yeah,
you got
prom suits
you got
straight from
suits from
Kariakoo,
Kariakoo, dude.
Yo, I do remember that.
Yo, tell the people a bit about
I don't
Kariakoo
actually
and the market
remember
experience
that
in
like
TZ.
specific time. I remember standing outside and then like getting fitted and stuff. But like when you guys are explaining that sort of market experience, I automatically thought of, you know, like Kariakoo. Also in Zanzibar, it's very similar when you go to the market. Like you go to one shop and then someone's like really trying to like on you to like buy whatever it is you might be looking for, but if their product isn't exactly what you're looking for, they'll like stick with you and they'll be like, nah.
Yeah.
Okay, they'll go to like a shop like 10 minutes away, but they'll reach there in like 3 minutes and then come back with you with like other samples and stuff.
They'll like run to the next place and be like, nah, bro, this is what you need.
I mean, I kind of admired that, you know, whatever it's called,
Mhm.
that
Persistence.
persistence, their sort of marketing strategy. I don't know what the hell you call it, but fair enough to them. But yeah, we got our
Yeah, man.
we got our prom suits from Kariakoo, I'm pretty sure.
Do you still have them? Like, was it
Yeah.
good quality?
I mean,
can't remember.
I wore it once or
I don't think
twice.
I have. It might be at my house in Dar, but
So this was a tailored suit for how much? You
nah,
remember?
it wasn't
wasn't
tailored, but we were
tailored,
just
right?
trying different ones
Ah,
out.
okay.
No, it was
Okay,
literally
okay.
just like we just stopped at several suit stores and we were looking for just a very simple like black blazer basically
Yeah,
for each of us. Or
yeah. We'll put a picture
I
up
mean,
here. Yo, we were looking fly. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
There's one picture that hits.
Yeah, we were looking fly and definitely nobody could have guessed that they were from Kariakoo, man. Like they would look good, man.
Dude, that's the
It's
thing,
just not
man.
durable. That's
Yeah,
it. But, like,
exactly.
it
But I
looks
feel like,
good.
yeah,
You can find
you
good looking stuff.
Yeah, it can be good. It can be good looking, but also I feel like sometimes it can be pretty all right quality. Like sometimes you get
Mhm,
secondhand things that are okay. They're not like,
Yeah.
you know, completely new, but because they're so like good quality, the secondhand is pretty good, you know. I got all
Yeah.
my football boots until I was like 12, 13, until I started caring about like Nike and stuff. I got all my stuff from Kariakoo, bro.
Hell
And,
yeah, bro. Big up.
That's
And they lasted quite a bit as well. Actually, the one time, I think it was the first time I actually pressed my parents to go in to buy some football boots at the Adidas store in Mlimani City. Remember where like the cinema was?
Yeah.
Went there, spent like
So Mlimani City,
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
quick interjection, is like a huge mall in Dar es Salaam that we used to go
Yeah.
to when we were in high school.
It's kind of out the way. It's got like a cinema, a bunch of shops. It's a bit more like I don't know. You only go there if you're like looking for something specific, I think, to be
Yeah.
honest. But yeah,
Like it's not really a nice mall to just hang out.
yeah, it's out the
Or
way and stuff.
I don't know.
But there was an
Yeah.
Adidas store for some strange reason. I don't know why, but I was pretty hyped about it.
So expensive.
And I think that's the first time I pressed my parents to buy me like some like new nice football boots. So I went there, spent like I don't know 3 or 4 times the amount of money that we usually spend on football boots from Kariakoo,
Hmm.
and they only lasted me like maybe a couple months. The the
Dude,
thing started
because
ripping off
you're
and
at the
stuff.
age as well where you're growing hella.
Nah, but I mean like quality wise, like the material started ripping off and stuff, and it was just it was not it, man. So
Man.
sometimes
Dude, that
you gotta go
yeah.
for quality over whatever it is, over
Brands.
brands, exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Man, that reminds me of one time, like a couple years ago. We went to
Eesh. Oh my
wow, the
goodness.
painting just fell on our head. We went to play ultimate frisbee, yeah, and like some people had invited us to play ultimate frisbee when we're in Zambia, and so I was like, dang, I really need some cleats because this grass is gonna be wet, like I'll be slipping and stuff. And I grabbed some like really old cleats from high school, and when as soon as I put them on and I just started sprinting, bro, little pieces just started coming off until I was barefoot.
What the heck, dude? That's funny.
Um, but dude, I wanted to get back to this like thing of persistence that you find in like in African markets, probably also in other markets, but I don't want to go talk about stuff that I don't know anything about. But you see that people are hustling so hard just to sell something to the point where sometimes it's ridiculous, man. Like so I'm trying on these shoes, right, with the guy, and I was like, bro, like this is not really this is not really my size. Like it's really tight on my foot. And he was like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Nah, people like that.
What do
man.
you mean? I'm like,
They'll be like, no, it's good. It's good.
it's good.
Like,
It's
it looks
good.
good on you.
It
It looks
fits
good
you,
on
bro.
you.
I'm like, no. It hurts my foot, bro. He's like, nah, it's definitely not,
Dude,
dude.
it's persistent to the point that it's relentless, bro.
Relentless.
That's
And like
they
it
got
doesn't
no,
make any sense.
they got
bro.
no shame, bro. They're
No?
just they're just trying to get theirs. That's it, man.
Like at all costs they're gonna sell it to you, like. And the thing is, it's everything around the market that's this like that that's like relentless, like, bro, from the moment we pulled up. So in Ouagadougou, right, most people commute on scooters. I think most actually they commute on scooters, right? There's barely any type of like public transport or anything like that. Everyone just has scooters, from nice scooters to ones that are falling apart, right? So there's a bunch of like scooter parking area, like guarded parking areas. You give your scooter, you get a little ticket, you return the ticket, you get your scooter, Even when we pulled up, people just ran over to us. They're like, yo, come park with us. Come park with us. We're like, dang, bruh. It's almost like suspicious, man. And then like as you're walking around, people will be like, people just walk up to you and be like, hey man, look, come, you need some jeans, bro? You need some jeans? You're getting big, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just they just be yanking you to come buy their stuff all the time, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
annoying for us, but you gotta respect it.
you gotta respect the
You gotta
grind.
respect it, man.
And this was one of the funniest but craziest thing at the same time, right? Was so we're like walking towards the scooter, like we're so tired of being at the market at this point, and people are like annoying. It's like annoying. Everything's annoying at this point. It's no longer like, oh, cool, because we've been there before. But I'm walking, right, and I was thinking of years ago. Like I remember these, like, even women, guys will just grab them and be like, yo, come look at this dress. Like, relax. So I see this girl. She's like walking by, She's walking by as people are trying to sell us stuff. I see her walking by at the corner of my eye, and this guy's like grabbing her, So me just, thinking of being like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So I kind of just like, my gaze just kind of follows the situation to see what's happening. So as I'm doing that, like I see whatever is cool, the guy lets go of her. She keeps walking. These people are still talking to us, and this guy pulls up to me. He grabs me. He's like, "Oh, you looking at that girl, huh?" He was like, we got jeans, but we got girls too, bro.
Heck,
And I was
dude.
like, yo, relax.
But this is why I say, I don't know to what extent it's true, but this is what I say is like, you can find anything on that market, bro. From in the worst way, like in probably the
My guy,
darkest,
like,
the
we got
darkest
them
things,
too, bro.
That's crazy,
I
man.
was like, yo,
People will
chill
sell
out.
it, bro. The entrepreneurial spirit is just crazy, man. Like that's something you don't
It
see
runs deep.
in the same way, like over here or
Never.
like in Europe. You know,
True.
like it's just because people they got to make a living. You know, people here that work at markets or whatever. It's like I don't know. It's not the same. I mean, even the like the vegetable and fruit markets here, right? That are like in the center in the square that come like every Tuesday, every Saturday, or every particular day. Like people are like shouting out like maybe you can do impersonation, but they're just shouting out like, yeah, we got oranges for 2 euros, blah blah blah. And but then like it stops there. You know, people are not like yo, come here, come here, because it's not the same. They ain't got the same type of
Bro,
drive, but also also
Desperation,
desperation, I guess.
It's kind of deep, man.
But it's deep. But
If you think about if that
people are
same
willing
like
to go anywhere, man.
desperation is probably not the best word to use, but like that same sort of drive, if it was applied like differently, you know, and I don't know, like it's a bit unrealistic maybe to imagine like people like in that market situation, like in Ouagadougou or in Zanzibar, Kariakoo, like people applying that sort of same drive into, I don't know, marketing their business, you know, how like places here, like small pop-ups here in a market, you'd see like they have like a nice, they have their social media set up, all that stuff. But yeah, if you think about if the people in the, like those market situations could apply
Yeah,
the
I
same
agree.
their same motivations
Bro,
elsewhere, it would be
100%,
like more
man.
successful maybe.
I think like it's something that I was actually thinking about while I was there, right? Because uh what you're seeing in places like Ouagadougou, right? So we've been going to Burkina Faso our whole lives, and I think people don't actually like being able to see how, you know, my dad essentially bought the first mobile phone for like my village. So in my village there's only like my family, it's like 60 people living in a small village near a town essentially. But we brought the first cell phone there when I was a kid, bro. No one had a cell phone. And now most of my cousins have some type of Android phone with access to the internet, and this in the span of like 20 years, something like that. Like I saved up for a Nokia when I was in 4th grade, right? And that phone, when I got my next phone, was like the third phone in my village because we gave it to them. Like that's, you know, and so that change has been happening so fast, and like the opportunities and possibilities that comes with such a large audience of internet users in the city, like people haven't started exploiting that audience as best as they can yet, like that's what's still catching up. um there's so many businesses that have like zero internet presence,
Yeah.
even though it could like benefit them like majorly. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was quite interesting to see. But you can tell it's coming though. It's coming though. Like you're seeing a lot more like small businesses or like clothing brands and everything in Burkina Faso, which are really sick, that are setting up like Instagram pages that give them also access to like international markets and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was awesome to see. But yeah, like you said, in places like in the market and stuff. So the thing was, right? They are starting to do it because I found this guy via a Facebook advert with just his phone number, and then I went to his shop. So
Right.
it is getting there,
Yeah.
But I guess for a lot of people, just grabbing you as you're walking by is still the most the most effective way to sell you something.
If it works, it
Because I mean,
works.
at the end of the day, if that is what you're looking for, and they grab you and they're like, "Yo, you need this," and that's what you need, like
Yeah.
they definitely got
They
your
just help you
attention.
out.
Switching gears from this market, uh, Joe Biden in the last couple of days announced that the COVID pandemic is over. So
Did he?
yes, he did, sir. I was just checking the news, and I thought that was quite interesting. I mean, of course, it's much more nuanced than that. I'm not saying I agree or disagree, or I'm not saying that COVID is completely something that we can forget about. But as president of the U.S., it's a pretty big thing for him to announce that the COVID pandemic is over. But anyways, I just wanted to ask, like, us having been to different countries in this time, and also during COVID, does it feel to you guys like Corona, like COVID pandemic, is actually over?
Honestly, to me, if I think about how often I think about COVID nowadays, it's like definitely not daily anymore. Like it used to
Mm-mm.
be like every day, like you're reminded of it somehow, like either by like a sign that says you got to wear a mask, or
Yeah.
by someone just wearing a mask, or conversations with your friends. There was a time where like COVID came up every single time you see someone, like
Oh my
without a
gosh,
doubt.
terrible.
And now, probably for the past, definitely since I got back from my trip, but maybe even before that, I'm not sure. But like it's no, I think definitely when I got back. Since I got back, I've barely been thinking about it. The only time I thought about it was when we went to travel again to Burkina,
Yeah,
because we had to print our international COVID certificates, like proof of vaccination. But like other than that, so like just living day to day, not traveling by plane, it I would say it does feel over, probably. Like I don't think about it. I'm not scared of it. I know it's still there, and I know people still get
hmm,
it, and I know that outside of the Netherlands, in certain countries it might be worse than here, but like in terms of my reality here, it definitely feels like it's kind of past. Like it's still lingering, but it's like pretty much past, I would say.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty much exactly how I feel as well. Same situation. Um, yeah, I totally agree. Like, there was a time where you couldn't have a conversation without it coming up at all. But even now, like with restrictions and stuff, everything is opened up. I feel like people have had enough of it, to be honest, for a while here at least. So that's why they've sort of resorted back to how life was before, which I mean is fair enough, to be honest. Like a lot of
yeah,
places suffered quite a lot, like even businesses and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, me personally, I don't think about it at all. It's weird because like it low key was such a big chunk of time. Like the way I think about it,
bro. 20% of our 20s was
I
during
know,
COVID, bro.
and like
It's quite insane.
I was just talking about like uni. So like having finished uni this year, like COVID happened right in the middle, kind of like in the middle of my uni experience. So like the end of second year, going on to third year, like the whole of the third year was kind of just blocked out. Doesn't even feel like I had a third year at
Yeah,
university. And I don't know, I kind of just bunch like that whole year under like the umbrella of COVID. So like I can't really distinct like the different events or different things that the different places that I visited in that year. It just all kind of just, I don't know, merges into one sort of bland sort of experience, which I just say, yeah, that was the COVID time. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Um, so which is a shame because I feel like, yeah, the world literally was on pause, and it's a shame to think about like your life kind of just not wasting away for a couple years, but like I don't know, because
yeah.
when you look back at it, it's hard to.
It's hard to even imagine what it was like,
I
man.
know.
I mean, yeah, for me also, it feels like COVID is like over, bro. I don't think about it
No.
on nearly a daily basis anymore, unless I have to show proof somewhere, like traveling. Which even that, then I feel like on our way back to Holland, we didn't even get asked for our COVID papers, bro.
No, we did right in the beginning at the airport in Burkina.
Oh yeah, that's right,
But
that's
like,
right. Once,
but even still, like you're not thinking about it. It's just like, oh
just
yeah,
like
here,
here's a
and then
piece of
it's
paper.
done.
Yeah. Um. So then, yeah, we agree that like the time went by super, super fast. It almost feels like when we're in it, it was so slow and
Yeah.
dragged on for ages, and now it's just like okay, it's done, and it's like we're almost back to our normal status quo without even, you know, without even realizing that so much time has just passed. Except that, for work, a lot of things are different. A lot more people can do things
Oh
remote.
yeah.
There's a lot less people forced to go to the office all the time. So there's a lot of changes, but things kind of feel like they're back to normal, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to ask you guys, like, what was maybe what was maybe like the weirdest thing that you kind of experienced, or that you thought was like weird, out of the ordinary during COVID?
The weirdest thing. I
I
think
can,
I
yeah.
I think it was just like right now, like off the top, I'm not thinking of necessarily like a moment, but I just remember at some point, like in the midst of the pandemic, where like you had to wear a mask like everywhere,
You.
and it just felt. I remember, like, I think this must have been like at least a year in, like the vaccinations had maybe like sort of started, or like talks about it, but not like no one had been vaccinated yet, and it was just like I just remember thinking like this is so dystopian. This feels like a
Yeah,
Black
yeah,
Mirror
yeah, yeah,
episode. Like everyone is wearing masks. Everyone is just like an obedient,
yeah. Slave
civilian,
to.
and like no one is talking to each other. Everyone just has their mask on and is like looking on their phone, like on the
Yeah,
metro, and it just really felt like we were just like numbers
it
or
was in a
something.
movie,
It
bro.
felt,
It
yeah,
was really a
man.
That's
movie.
a
It
good way to
felt
put
really
it.
like apocalyptic,
Yeah,
and I think that was just the whole vibe that like looking back, like we're living now, everything is like, things are moving again and everything's all good. But for like 2 years or, a little less, like we were really in this dark kind of space where like people were dying, there was mass graves being dug. Like it was pretty
pretty
crazy, like
pretty
people
grim.
numbers were going up,
Yeah.
like more cases, more deaths, more cases, more deaths. Everyone goes outside, gets sick again, goes back inside, lockdown, curfew at 9. Like these are all things that are
Mad.
very like from like I don't know, from sci-fi type
Yeah,
movies,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that I just remember that was like a thing where it's like, man, we're in this right now. And
What
I
the
remember
hell,
sitting with
man?
my friends and my roommates, like, I
Like,
don't know when this is gonna end. This might be our whole 20s. And
yeah,
I like accepted that. I was like, at least till 25, like life's not gonna be normal,
yeah.
But that being said, it is pretty
The whole thing was weird.
it was crazy, and like felt like there will probably be movies about about this
There
time.
is already. There's
There,
already. I've seen some like super weird movies that are like about pandemic, COVID, type of thing.
it'll probably be
Uh,
like the U.S. saves everyone.
oh my god, dude! Of course,
But
of course.
it is pretty like impressive still,
Yeah.
like how like fast we
Bro, and
got
there was like
into it,
riots and
and then
stuff, bro. Like in Holland, there was like riots of people not wanting to
oh yeah,
respect the curfew and stuff.
that was weird.
That was
People were
crazy, man. People were lighting cars on fire, fighting the police out here.
dystopia
Yeah.
facts.
So speaking of the mask thing, like one of the scariest things I thought about the pandemic was like, so during the pandemic, of course, there was the whole, Black Lives Matter movement
True.
that blew up, right? And so there was kind of this already scary, I don't know, like we looked at the police a certain type of way as black men, and black women. Like the fact, I kind of thought it was quite scary how, you know, bro, the police were wearing masks, you know?
Hmm.
Like like you're supposed to know the police's identity. When you record a video of the police, it's supposed to be able to see who it is and what they're doing, like not abusing their power or doing something wrong, you know. And I thought like the most dystopian fact of the whole COVID pandemic was just like seeing groups of like 3, 4 police standing around with like black masks on, like just their eyes showing and being like, whoa, what are, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
not being able to read them as well, man. Like I thought
Yeah.
that was so crazy. Like how is that? Like I get it's for the pandemic, but I was like, how is this allowed?
Yeah.
You
True.
know what I mean? Like you guys are public servants and you carry guns and sticks. Like you can literally now do whatever you want and no one can even ID
Yeah,
you,
shit.
bro.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Very true. That, yeah, that's peak dystopia right there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, despite all the like dystopia and like the 2 years of like crazy times, like it, and despite the fact that like obviously it was like more terrible for certain people than others, like that's true, but like I think it is still impressive how fast we like got into it so deep and how fast we like got out. I mean,
Yeah.
given the circumstances, I mean, I would maybe it wasn't fast, but still like to be where we are right now,
Yeah.
relatively is pretty
Yeah.
It's
good,
pretty
you know.
insane given it was a literally and some places are still lacking behind, right?
Yeah.
But a whole global pandemic, and now in Holland at least it feels like there's literally nothing left of it.
And I mean in Burkina as well, for that matter, you know,
Yeah.
people still getting COVID here and there, but it's like it's definitely much
Yeah.
better. So
Yeah.
that is impressive. Like sometimes like you look at things really badly, but as like the human race, it's pretty crazy,
We
man.
dealt with it. I
Especially
guess
like
we
for
dealt with
something
it
on a global
pretty
scale
like
to only last like 2 years,
yeah.
really. If we're saying it's over now, it's not
What
like
is that,
compared
you
to
know?
other events like wars and shit. It's like
But just wait for the next
that's the thing.
pandemic, bro.
Yeah, this was like a warm up, I think.
That's the
You
thing.
know,
That's the thing.
Yo, they just warm. They just got ready, bro.
yeah, like the
But you know what? If it wasn't for the
yeah,
pandemic, you
they're
could
ready.
probably say we wouldn't be here right now speaking to each other.
Damn, that's a big fact. For those who
Yeah.
don't know, we started Nomadic during the pandemic. Was
Yeah.
it the first year of the pandemic? Like in the beginning,
it was
yeah?
in the beginning of the pandemic, like during the first lockdown.
Yeah, yeah. So
Um,
the idea had already been brewed for a while, but then like the execution happened
yeah,
right at the start of the pandemic when we were like, all right,
we're
got no
stuck at
excuse
home,
now.
bro.
Yeah,
Like, what are we
You know
gonna
what? That
do?
probably helped quite a bit. You know, with you know how
I
like
think so.
people say like the like Netflix sales and all that stuff went up and everything. Like Amazon was going crazy because people were just at home, bored as hell, like either watching stuff or ordering stuff to their house. You know, and always on their phone and the internet. So I feel like that definitely helped us quite a bit with our
Yeah,
sort of to get ourselves like a bit up and running. You know what I mean? Because we kind of had
for
I
sure.
guess you could say we had more of people's attention than maybe we would have
oh
like
yeah,
if life was normal. You know?
definitely, man.
So yeah,
Nah, that's
the
true.
pandemic's very bittersweet.
So one thing, right, with the pandemic and the fact that, like, I think we kind of moved, we kind of moved more. It was fast, but we kind of moved into it more or less slowly. And then there was kind of like these shocks where, like, all of a sudden, boom, this is the new laws around COVID. Boom, some time went by, you kind of sort of get used to it. Boom, this is the new laws around COVID. But when it came on the other end of it, like coming out of it, right? I feel like it was much more gradual, and there wasn't like a lot of moments where it was like, okay, now you can do this, now you can do this, now you can do this, now you can do this. Like there was those moments, but to me at least, it felt quite gradual, that change. And so it's like we kind of moved out of this pandemic lifestyle and everything, but at the end of the day, like the whole world went through something that there I think it was extremely traumatic for all of us. Like, not trying to compare myself to the worst places where I think some places in China, like people were literally not allowed to leave their house under any circumstance for weeks at a time, and like, you know, police state kind of things. But the whole world did go through like quite a traumatic experience. And then we kind of moved out of it gradually. And now it's just like, okay, but life's back to normal. Like, do your thing.
Yeah,
You can work from home a bit more. Cool. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like the way we moved out of it, we don't even talk about the fact that, like, what just happened, man.
Yeah.
Like, what actually just happened to us, bro.
yeah, true.
We were just stuck inside for almost 2 years with like the government like forcing us to do a bunch of things that we didn't want to,
yeah.
in fear of like getting a disease and maybe dying. You know what I mean? And like keeping our distance from people. Like, that's so odd, man. Like, it's
It
so
is really
weird.
strange. I mean, yeah, people have their theories as well. You know, that it was just a intentional thing, which is crazy to think about. But like when you describe it like that,
The
yeah, we're
conspiracies.
forced to be inside
Oof.
because yeah, we're forced to be inside. We can't go outside, can't do anything normal, which sounds pretty bad. But then you could argue that the whole motive behind that is if you do go outside, you could get sick and die. So obviously everyone's like, okay,
It's
yeah, I'm gonna listen to
insane,
that.
bro.
The fact that we don't talk about it really, like on like a global level, like we
Yeah,
all just went. I mean, like you said, some people had it way worse and lost like relatives. Like God bless, like we that didn't happen to us, but still, it's like for 2 years we were like in weird mental states and going through
super
it,
weird, man.
and like yeah, I mean, even just thinking about it right now, like I think everyone probably to some degree like it affected them in a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
positively or negatively or just like
Yeah.
neutrally, but just in a certain way. Like, I can
everyone
definitely
has came
yeah,
out a different
and
person, you
for
know.
sure, man. And like I mean, already in the very beginning, like when we started seeing people again, it was like people's social batteries had changed a lot, you know,
Yeah,
and it
for
was like
sure.
I definitely felt a bit more awkward even speaking to certain
Yeah,
people and a bit less confident, but also I was really like not really trying to speak to too many people either, you know, like conversations that kind of be like, all right, I'd rather be back in my space again.
Mm,
And I
mm-hmm.
think, you know, for the introverts, like this is another topic, but for the introverts, um, you know, it was you know a gift from God, some might say, you
yeah,
know,
low
to
key.
be able to just like I don't know, I mean, to be honest, like I'm like I would consider myself probably more an introvert, and like I don't know, dude, I found a lot of comfort in just like being home and like knowing that I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
gonna have
Mm-hmm.
like a long night out, just so I can
Yeah,
just be in my space, because like
Yeah. I feel
yeah,
like, yeah,
I don't
there's
know,
definitely different sides to it. Different people. I'd say I'd relate to that as well. I'm more introverted. Um, but yeah, so like you said, with I think it definitely helped kind of solidifying your own space and being comfortable by yourself in certain
yeah,
ways. But sometimes I feel like you could feel that, but then also feel the complete opposite. Like you're kind of trapped
for
in your own
sure.
space, and like this is
Yeah,
all you know. Like it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. Like sometimes you
for
need like
sure, man.
outlets, like people to speak to or places to go to. Um. So yeah.
And I can't even imagine what it was like for people like cooped up in a crib with their kids, man.
Mm,
Ew,
oh yeah,
mm.
awful, bro.
young kids,
Um,
yeah,
Nowadays,
but
thank God.
like essentially, what I'm trying to get at, right, is this idea of that everyone that was in places where the COVID regulations were quite strict for extended periods of time is like affected mentally, and their has it has had an effect on their mental health, right? And I feel like now that we're like moving out of it, this is not something that is like it's not something that's talked about on like a very large scale. I feel,
yeah,
man,
exactly,
like during the pandemic, everyone was like, "Oh my God, learn all these things, bro. You have to learn. You can learn new
Yeah.
skills in your
True.
house and do this." And and it went through all these ups and downs and phases, and that like all of us did as well. And now it's done, and it's like where you know I haven't heard like the COVID response teams being like,
You're
"Yo,
right. You're right.
the
You're right.
entire country is facing mental health issues," or
yeah,
you know uh even if it's not issues, like effects that maybe need to be talked about and that a lot of people might need to work through, instead of just going back to the status quo. Like
yeah,
I feel like that's something that's very important that hasn't been addressed in the same way that the COVID pandemic has been addressed, that all of us went through. So essentially you could almost say that there must be some kind of like mental health pandemic as well,
Yeah.
you know?
That's a good
hmm
point. I feel like, yeah, going back to that's the danger of saying that COVID is over, because that makes it seem like everything is like packaged. It's just been packaged and like we're putting in the
yeah,
past, where there in
Yeah.
reality there's like you said, things that are running over, like mental health issues, like just like personal issues in general, like social issues, maybe like social anxiety as well. But you're right,
Hmm.
I haven't really heard of, I mean there probably are places that help people recover from that kind of stuff, but they're not nearly as talked about as much, I don't think.
Yeah.
And again, that's the danger of saying that it's over, because one,
yeah,
people
true,
don't know about those type of places that they can get help, and then two, we don't bring it enough attention to letting people know that it's okay to do that. And Yeah. Nah, I wouldn't say it's over. I wouldn't say it's over for those reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. On that note, yeah. Coming back to it, I guess it's not. I guess the restrictions and things are all over, and
Which is so lit, thank God.
and everyone can party again and do like live again normally, but the after effects are still lingering with us. Let's say positive and negative, and
You probably will for
probably
a while
will
too.
for a while, man. Probably up until the next pandemic, whenever that will be.
Mm.
But we definitely probably go see that in our lifetime, dude. Unfortunately.
For that, like these people that in
least-
the US, this is very stereotypical, but there's people that have like bunkers and shit under like
Yeah,
50,
man, the
50
preppers.
feet beneath the ground. They got like
Oh
nice
my
little
goodness,
homes. They
man.
They
got
ready for
their
it, dude.
food and everything sorted. Low key.
Yep. And they've been doing it since before the pandemic.
Exactly.
Like there was that show on Nat Geo, Doomsday Preppers. I used to love watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Low key, it's not the worst of ideas, man. Because you never know.
The way I mean, the
Pandemic
way
didn't creep up on us, dude. They just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So
Like, yeah. I mean, in the beginning of it, I'll be so honest, man. I was really imagining the absolute worst, bro.
like
which is
Man, I thought it was gonna be like proper anarchy, dude.
yeah.
Like the way already people started raiding all the shops.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
Hey,
actually, that was probably also a crazy significant moment. Videos of people like fighting each other for
You know what I
toilet
mean?
paper. That was like that's a movie scene right there, Mo.
Yeah.
Like,
and the way it was so dumb as well because like they have so much stored, bro. Like every day, even if you raid it every single day for a month, it's gonna be full again the next day.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that was crazy. I feel like there was a moment where I was kind of confused. I'm like, who's actually stopping anyone from doing what they want to do? Because like you telling people to like stay in their house, like if you're telling the whole world to stay inside, people are obviously gonna get fed up, and all it takes is for everyone to leave outside for chaos to be unleashed. But I feel like relatively, like people kind of saw the sort of, how do you say it, saw it through well, I guess, or like kind of understood that this is kind of what we have to do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it could have, stuff like that definitely did happen, like a lot of chaos, but I feel like it could have been a lot worse. Like
Yeah.
purge
Oh, yeah.
type
Like
scenes,
I feel like it was definitely
yeah,
but
yeah. I feel like it was definitely a minority of people who are like buying into all these stupid conspiracy theories and like going to do riots and stuff like that. And most of us over here, at least, we're just kind of like, all right, man, we just gotta, we
hustle
just
through
gotta
it,
power through. Yeah,
yeah,
we just gotta not be going to illegal parties all the time,
yeah.
and like we're gonna be fine. And yeah, and also I think we got lucky, man. I never got COVID.
You never got COVID? What?
Nope, even you, huh?
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. I was with Jimmy when he got COVID. I never got
You didn't
COVID,
get it in
man.
Brazil.
No,
Damn.
it was only Jimmy.
Strong man. Strong immune system.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Like we're just in this hostel. Jimmy finds out he has COVID. He's got to go to like a hotel, and I'm just there for a week, like having to do everything by myself. I still had a great time. I won't lie, but it was quite sad that Jimmy
Always
wasn't
cooped
there.
up.
I
Sheesh.
just went out by myself. Met some really awesome people.
That's a
yeah.
flex, low key. Not getting COVID during the pandemic.
And being all the time next to Jimmy as well when he had it, like.
Yeah, that's weird, man.
I think the crazy thing is there was one night, like a couple days before, where he went out and I didn't, and I think that's when he must have caught it.
Damn, bro. Yeah, I was going crazy that night. So
Maybe another podcast
Yeah,
you can tell us what you were doing to get caught. Get caught out.
No, it's not safe for work, man.
no, it's fine. We can keep it PG.
All right, man. So for this sick episode, I think we're gonna cut it here, guys. Bless up. I mean, we can keep talking about COVID for the rest of our days.
we really
but,
could.
I don't really think that we want to do that. So thanks everyone so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please go follow our Instagram at We.Nomadicstories. We'll be posting a bunch of clips from here if you don't want to watch the full episode,
Yes,
or if you just
sir.
want to check out small bits. So for now, we're not gonna have any audio version of the podcast because it's been causing us problems, and we don't have the money to afford like the paid platform where we can like host the audio version. So check it out on YouTube. Maybe you have YouTube Premium and you can just listen in your pocket. But we'll be back very soon in the next 1 to 2 weeks with our next episode. And thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir.
Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Would very much appreciate
Thanks
it.
for watching.
See
Stay
you in a
nomadic.
bit.
Peace out. Stay nomadic. By all means necessary.